Hey guys, this is Giga and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about my process that I go through in order to try and find a black label worthy DBS card. And the first thing you guys are going to need is a microfiber cloth. Here I have two different ones. This one's mostly used just to clean your glasses. I would suggest probably getting a different one like this one. This one's used mostly for like electronics. I got this one when I bought an Apple computer, and so this is like an Apple microfiber cloth. Just the brand just washed out. So I would suggest you probably just get one that's meant for screens, computer screens versus your eyeglasses. They're both soft, but this one right here has like the fibers seem a bit thicker, and to me it feels a bit rough versus this one. This one feels soft and smooth, almost like silk. So I would suggest you guys buy a microfiber cloth meant for like screens, but just make sure it's, you know, the feel and the texture just feels soft and smooth. And then the next thing you guys are gonna need is a light source. I know most of you guys probably use your phone, the light from your phone, and I would suggest probably buying a table lamp and then buying a light bulb that's 1400 through maybe 1600 lumens, and that's just the brightness, and just make sure it's an LED light, because that's going to be very helpful when trying to find any scratches on the cards and just doing that micro inspection. So once you guys have your materials, the next step would be to buy a card that you want to try and get a black label. And my suggestion is, if there's a card that you really like and want to try to get a black label, I would buy at least 4. Well, I guess it depends on the price too. If it's an expensive card, I would probably just buy 4 at a time. If it's a cheap card, I'd probably buy more. And as an example, I have this card right here, Defensive Strike or Stance Piccolo. And I bought this a while ago, but I really like the artwork and I want to get a black label of this card. So since it was very inexpensive, I bought let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. But to be honest, I'd probably have more than 8. But the reason I buy more than 8 sometimes is because, you know, first of all, they're cheap, and I want to have higher chances of trying to find that black label worthy card. So, because I buy my cards from TCG Player, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys do. And so that's where I get my cards. And then once they arrive, the first thing I do is I turn them over. But to be honest, I probably just I'll take them out of the sleeve, just because I don't like the glare. So I'll do that right now. Okay. So again, so every order or every card that I buy multiple, depending on the price. If it's an expensive card, maybe I'll just buy 4. If it's a cheap card, then I'll buy more. So I'll flip it over. Hey guys, sorry my camera died. So like I was saying, so once you get your cards, you flip them over. And I like to use a black backdrop just because it's easier for me to see the borders. And at this point, you know, don't be afraid to be ruthless, right? Don't hold back. If you see something you don't like, toss it to the left for your non-black label worthy pile or put it to your right for, you know, potential black worthy. And so here I'll just give a quick example of how I do it. So I'm always looking at the edges, and if I see something I don't like, if it's off-centered, then I'll put it to the left. Here you guys can see that I only liked one version of this card, so I will sleeve it up, and then here's a close-up of these. You can see it's off-centered here, and the reason I do this is because I've sent a lot of cards to Beckett and they always get deducted 0.5 for the centering. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys have experienced that. So that's the first thing I do. I always look for the centering. And so since this pile didn't make it to the black label worthy pile, the next step is I inspect the card again, just to make sure there isn't any scratches or dents. And if there are, then I'll probably, and if there are, I'll make another pile down here. And so, for example, let's just say this pile had all scratches and dents, and this pile didn't, but it was off-centered only. Then this pile I will either sell them or give them away. And then this pile here with the scratches or dents, excuse me, I would do this. So since let me find a bad one here. I'll sacrifice this one right here. So okay, let's say this one has scratches, dents, and whatnot. So for these cards, this is what I do next. I get a permanent marker, and then I test some signatures. Let's see, this one's just Chris Sabat, right? So even though this one was a crappy one, now I can use this as what's it called, to test my autographs, to test my pens on these type of like foiling or texture cards. So, you know, it was a crappy card, but it's still useful. So that's how I use these scratched or bent or whatnot cards. I use them just to use different types of pens, see which pen works better on this surface in case I want to get it autographed. So even though it was a crappy card, or I guess, yeah, a crappy card, it's still very useful. And then, so like I said, I either sell these or give them away. And now, so I only saw one that was black label worthy. Okay, so once we pass the centering process, then again I carefully inspect for any scratches. I'll just do a close-up, and as you can see, I can probably see there's like a micro scratch somewhere in this corner. Let me see if I can. There it is. You see that? And let's check the back. And I see something right there. So this is where that microfiber cloth comes in handy. And now let me take this off. And then you gently try to clean it off. I would say about 80% of the time, any specks on the back of a card usually come off. I like to use kind of like my nail. Let me see, like my nail right under this cloth, and since it's not like sharp anymore, it's kind of like smooth, I guess, and just slowly, I use circular motions. So I just use circular motions like that, and gently just scratch off and hoping it comes off. And then I know it sounds disgusting, but you can use your breath, that moisture, right? That kind of moisture. I found out it tends to sometimes loosen up whatever is attached to the back of the card. I know it's kind of disgusting, especially with COVID going around. So maybe, and another option, I haven't tried it, but you can probably boil water, and you probably just place it on top of that steam once it's boiling. I would just gently though, don't just leave it there, because then I'm pretty sure it's gonna warp the back. But I guess that would be another sanitary option. So this one looks like it's not gonna come off. So again, you guys have to be ruthless. This is not gonna be a Black Label worthy card. So then it goes to my pile that I'm probably gonna use to test some pens out, see which ones work good with this type of surface. And then so when I ever want to get this card autograph, I know which pens to use. So it's still a useful card. I would probably not give it out or sell it, just because I don't like, I don't like that, and then I don't like the little scratch. So you can find that, and I don't want to be that guy that sells crappy cards. So I'll just use it to test out my pens. And with that said, guys, that's pretty much it. My process of that I go through. Just kind of like a little recap. Depending on the price of the card, I probably buy like 4 at a time, and then if it's cheap, I'll probably buy more. And again, just so I can have higher chances of finding that, perfect Black Label card. So you just be careful you guys don't go over budget, because I know some of these DBS cards can, are cheap at one point, and then all of a sudden they're not cheap anymore. So buy them as soon as you can, or as soon as they release. Don't wait too long, because then prices might change and then you probably regret it. So like I said again, try to buy at least more than one, just so you can have higher chances of finding that Black Label card. And just to end that video, we'll enjoy this artwork. Awesome artwork. Sad that it wasn't a Black Label worthy card, but I hope that that information that I provided helps you guys out, and hopefully you guys can get your dream card in a Black Label. Well, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll try to answer them. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know again below in the comments. And subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And I appreciate it, guys, and thanks.